Everyone hates Idubbbz. His newest content cop on Ethan Klein was pretty bad to say the least. And now people are, well, making fun of him. Which they have been doing for, I don't know, the past decade at this point because, well, he lives in an internal cuck cage, which is understandable.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be discussing the H3 content cop that was uploaded by Idubbbz yesterday. And spoiler alert, it's going absolutely terrible for Idubbbz. Now, in case you're not familiar with this once greatly respected content creator, over the past couple of years, he's been on a sort of journey that includes a lot of self-flagellation.
Journey, he said. Well, self-flagellation does sound about right, though.
As well as trolls remorse, where he has openly condemned his old self, his old humor, and his old content, including his very famous Content Cop series. Now,
okay, listen, I don't want to be the guy, but if Asmongold said that he condemns his past self, there would be a bunch of fucking simps who work at a McDonald's and saying, "Oh, you grew up!" A loser Idubbbz does it, and everyone just keeps calling him a simp. The world ain't fair, you know? That's what I'm kind of saying.
Now, in case you're not familiar with that series, he went after some of the seemingly untouchable content creators.
Ah, what is her name? I forgot, but she's trash, yo. Man, his content cops actually were so good at one point. It's a shame how the mighty tend to fall, okay? The higher the rise, the bigger the damage when they fall.
And made videos that actually put dents in some of their careers. These were brilliant series filled with great criticism and also
he apologized saying the N-word so much. And I needed to rethink this sentence so I don't actually accidentally say it 10 out of 10.
Entertainment value, original songs, parodies, skits, all that kept you paying attention while also receiving some very damning stuff about these content creators featured in these videos. However, like I said, over the past couple of years, he's been on a self-help journey where
I have seen this video. It's so pathetic. It's just insanity.
He's essentially called his old self bad and said he wants to be a nice guy and care about people's feelings. And doing so, he deleted the entire content.
Yeah. Okay, real talk. How do you think people would rate the content cop on H3 if Ethan, what's his name? Yeah, I think no. His what was Idubbbz' name? Was it Ethan? Was it also Ethan? Shit, that's awkward. Anyway, if Idubbbz didn't side with Hassan Piker and that posse of brain damage, do you think his content cop would have got on better? Because again, this is what I said originally in yesterday's video. The content cop is not great, but it's definitely not actually bad. The start is pretty cringe, even though you do after the song, yeah, you think, oh shit, maybe something's happening here. That's pretty confident. But no, it doesn't, okay? And people are not... How many people here got even through halfway his content cop? Leave it in the comments. If you watched more than half of the content cop, leave it in the comments. Because I don't believe people watched more than 15 minutes of it. Because the first 15 minutes were super cringe and bad. It was by far the absolute weakest part of the content cop. The last 20 minutes or 15-ish minutes, actually pretty good. He legitimately put in some reasonable arguments. They weren't super on point or super damaging, but I mean, he did point out some actual reason. And the reason why I think the content cop is so bad, because again, I'm not joking when I say Idubbbz is in the eternal cuck cage. All of what everyone hates Idubbbz for now is effectively pretty much unanimously the outcome, the work, the effort of his absolute she-male goblin girlfriend, okay? That's it. That's the life. Yeah. And the start always the start of the video involves the girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure this content cop only exists because of the girlfriend, and she's like, you need to address these things, these issues. And that's why the start is so bad compared to the rest of the video. because it's all about protecting the honor of his fair goddamn maiden or something like that, which is super cringe considering that that goblin ain't fair.
Cop series and is now trying to be a better person. In fact, even his latest target of his final Content Cop series, Leafy, is someone he apologized to essentially.
Dude, the Leafy one was so on point because yeah, Leafy did try to hide his non-existential chin. 10 out of 10.
Despite the fact people like this not wanting any sort of an apology from him, and even in the final swan song of his social media life before he's been banned off of everything, Leafy was mocking him right to the end. But with Creator Clash 3 coming up, a major project for Idubbbz.
Oh, is this happening still? Dude, I did not even know. Yeah, this is cooked. So, Creator Clash 2 was an absolute disaster. I didn't watch it, but I covered the outcome where they were talking about it. And the Creator Clash is effectively just people who have no idea about anything in finance trying to figure out fucking finance for the first time in their life. Creator Clash 1 was pretty much lucky. Creator Clash 2 was an unprecedented disaster because they have no... The disaster of Creator Clash 2 effectively is like this. Creator Clash 1 did this good with this much money put in, and then they expected Creator Clash 2 to be, for some reason, like 5 times as good effectively, and for, 3 times more investment or something like that. It effectively was a strategy that was 100% deemed to fail to begin with.
It seems he wants to generate some attention for this event, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because Creator Clash 2 was a disaster, at least financially, where they had to fork in their own money just to meet the charitable goals of...
Yeah, and then he was asking for donations, which was stupid.
Of Creator Clash 2. And I guess to accomplish that attention, he has revitalized, dug up the grave of the Content Cop series that he said he would never do again. Well, he was a hypocrite on that, and he decided to post this the other day, and people immediately started speculating, who's it gonna be about? Who's gonna be the new target of this Content Cop? There's 2 names in particular I heard, Asmongold and Sam Hyde. And Sam Hyde, in case you didn't know, pretty much mind broke Idubbbz a few years ago. I don't think he's ever recovered since then. And also this Content Cop was...
By the way, that also involved Creator Clash, because Sam... Again, Idubbbz's life is literally governed by that goblin that he calls his wife or girlfriend or whatever the hell. And Sam Hyde's sin was not liking his girlfriend enough. That's pretty much it.
Supposed to release on Sam Hyde's birthday. So it seems like he might have taken a very courageous stab at a guy who's very hard to go after. Well, that's not what he did. Instead, as you know, it's on H3, aka Ethan Klein. Now, this was an obvious choice, and as the saying goes, sometimes the obvious choice is the correct one, and that was the case here. Now, I want to make 2 things very clear before we start talking about this. Number 1...
By the way, I thought that this is initially going to be so easy. Because, did you see... I watched Ethan Klein's video on... what's his face? Hassan. That video was so fucking stupid. That video was so stupid. Effectively, that whole video can be summarized as an Ethan Klein saying, "Oh, I had no idea Hassan was this kind of person all these years. He was doing it. I was defending him for taking these positions, and I had no idea he actually was like that. I had no idea." I thought that I honestly thought that this is gonna be this is gonna be a slam dunk, because again, Ethan Klein literally trying to lie to everyone and say, "Oh, I had no idea Hassan is like that. I had no idea," is the dumbest shit ever. Like, if you believe that, I'm sorry. I have 52 bridges to sell you, and maybe even a dam, and maybe a couple of rivers. I don't know. You're gonna buy anything anyway.
I am not a fan of H3. I used to enjoy his content back in the day, just like I did with Idubbbz as well, but they've both changed in many different ways, and I really have no stake in this fight.
Thankfully, I never did enjoy H3's content. I always thought that he's He is way too obnoxious and self-righteous about his content always. So I kind of lucked out on that, not ever liking him. Granted, I didn't hate him, but I didn't like him ever.
I also want to make it clear this is a pretty significant betrayal. These were two guys who clearly were pretty close friends at one time. They made content together. They seemed to get along very well. And obviously, over the past couple of years, things have not gone as well. And now you have this whole series coming out. And if you told people back in 2015 or 2016 that Idubbbz would be releasing a content cop on H3, they would have told you you were crazy. Now, of course, a lot of people are speculating as to why this happened. Some people are looking at the content nuke uploaded by H3 Productions here that targeted Hassan Piker. Nearly 2 hours of
Yeah, this is what I watched. I mean, it's not hard calling Hassan an idiot. We all know that. Jesus. But again, this was not a great video. Oh, guys, turns out Hassan is a bad person. I did not know. Trust me, guys.
eviscerating this man and just pointing out to the person who may not know all of the crazy things he's done over the years. And people believe as a result of that, that's how we ended up with this disaster. This is the content cop made on H3 by Idubbbz that was uploaded yesterday. And as you can see, the results are abysmal. A nearly 50-50 like-dislike ratio.
I don't know if I trust this YouTube extension, because this is an algorithm that just, assumes the dislike ratio. I already said about that. Now, there's going to be a lot of dislikes, because again, as I said yesterday, this whole thing is not about, oh, Ethan's wrong. No, this is literally tribalism at its most purest form. It's just, people who dislike Hassan are instantaneously going to say that this is stupid because, well, if you dislike Hassan, you can't let Ethan defend H3 because that makes Hassan right. So people literally don't care about any of the arguments. No one's going to even mention them because most people haven't even watched this shit fully. Okay? And that's it. This is just pure tribalism. In reality, all sides of this are pretty much equally shitty and dumb. Eden Klein is dumb, Hassan is dumb, Idubbbz is dumb. They're all trash, self-centered goddamn lizard people at this point that completely are outside of our norms in reality. Like, their opinions have literally no value.
Nearly 200,000 dislikes on this content cop. Again, if you heard that there would be so many dislikes on a content cop like this back in 2016, you would have never believed it.
Yeah.
But looking at this image, are you really shocked? He basically brought in all the most dislikable content creators on the platform, including making his star witness of this entire thing, Hassan Piker. And much like the Trash Taste podcast episode where he was featured there, people are using this video not just to criticize Idubbbz' lame attempt here, but also as a lightning rod to show how much they dislike people like Hassan Piker who were in this video. And that like-dislike ratio in the comments are as brutal as they are, despite the best efforts of Hassan to boost it. He had this preloaded as it was going live while he was streaming himself to try to brigade the comment sections and the likes as well to try to boost this, but it wasn't enough. It's still getting absolutely blasted. Now, of course, there's another thing to point out here before we look at the video itself. Look who helped create this video. Look at the names listed here. It is a rogues gallery of Ethan's biggest haters over the years. People who make near daily content about him, his wife, even his own kids. Okay, these people are his biggest haters, and they are contributing to a video.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way. If you want to be a hater, you go knock yourself out. I mean, it's a free world. If you want to be a hater of something, I'm not gonna try to stop you. You are free to make your own decisions. The fact that these people don't like H3, that's a completely legal and fine thing to do.
Video that's supposed to be as Idubbbz.
Again, you are free to dislike anyone. You are free to like anyone for whatever reasons you do. But we are free to criticize those reasons.
Describes himself as a fair and impartial one. Does that look like a fair and impartial group of people? Yeah, he would even describe them himself as Ethan's biggest haters. It's just such a joke. You look around at this list of people, right? You have people who have justified political violence if it has some sort of goal in mind. They've advocated for political violence. They've wished harm on soldiers. They've said America deserved 9/11. They've platformed terrorists, made race-based tier lists, put bounties on other content creators' heads for disagreeing with them, and even justified calling CPS on their opponents because the kids would be too young to
Child Protective Services
remember it. These are unhinged individuals, and again...
Oh, yeah, there was something about that also. But it was by a woman, so I instantaneously didn't care.
Used as the fair and impartial sources.
Was that Denims? Because that's the only name here that probably fits female, and Froggen is the fat one.
For this video. And the irony of all of this is not lost on me. Number one, every single person on this list would have been a potential content cop target 10 years ago. Every single one of them, for an infinite amount of reasons. And also, in the content nuke on Hassan Piker refused to react to it because he believed that Destiny ghost wrote the entire thing, which he obviously has.
Listen, okay? I have never heard that take before because I don't fucking care about Hassan. But listen, I would not be surprised. Okay, listen. If Asmongold and Hassan are arguing and Hassan says the sky is blue and Asmongold says the sky is red, Destiny's gonna react to that clip, and my god fucking damn, he's gonna try to move goddamn heaven and earth to make Hassan's take wrong and Asmongold right somehow. Because, to put it simply, as far as I can tell, as far as I have seen everything, Destiny is willing to abandon all reason, all anything, just to get at Hassan. So, if someone is like, hey, I'm gonna make this video about Hassan and all the shit that he does, do you want to ghostwrite the script? Destiny would be probably, yes, for free. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised, okay? Destiny is gonna probably defend someone who... Destiny will defend Hitler. It's just so Hassan looks bad, okay? That is no doubt in my mind, okay? If I... that is probably the most... okay, that's a conspiracy theory I'm willing to lay my life on, okay? Because Disney would do that. He hates Hassan more than anything. And imagine, all of this could have been averted because, let's be real, Disney doesn't probably hate Hassan. He just doesn't like that Hassan did not reciprocate his feelings and they couldn't be gated together. And that's pretty much probably it. That's my real take on it. And that has created a hatred that has permeated through a time and goddamn space at this point.
Has no evidence for, but then he joins in on this content cop where he's one of 7 people contributing to this video. Very ironic, but for the video itself, it's a bunch of slop. Basically, they took these 7 people and just aired out all of the things they've already said about Ethan.
Yeah, the start was bad because when they do the wake part, you know, it's like, so there's a bunch of people and none of them are actually even relevant to the content cop because the whole content cop is just their kindergarten spat with one another. Oh, my wife is not happy with you and your wife's actions. That's it. That's like they don't even need to be there. So I really wonder how people would react to the content cop if it didn't include Hassan and, well, effectively 100% self-sabotage.
Into this video, and just had basically Idubbbz as the mouthpiece for everything they've already said. There is nothing new introduced into this video. In fact, this entire video is the greatest departure from a content cop you can imagine. There's no original songs, there's no parodies, there's not even really skits. It's just a long exposed video parroting points that were already made.
I don't know if that's true about the points. I have never heard any of them because I could not be asked yet.
Made by the people who contributed to this video. In fact, the closest thing we get to a skit is this garbage right here. Brace yourselves, it's peak cringe.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake
Dude, the background tune is actually so good though.
up, Ethan. Ethan.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Wake
Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up.
This is no longer a
Bro, when I saw this, considering I had no idea who she is, I'm like, is this a format?
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
And then she said this, and I remember that there is something where Ethan called someone a dumb bitch, and people got not really mad about that. But I mean, I get who literally cares.
Wake up.
If I had my way, all of these people would be sent into eternal Minecraft.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up.
But the background music is so good, though.
Anyone?
Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
I'm listening. Nobody's telling you to wake up, Ethan.
Yummy, I love Sabra
It's
hummus.
time to wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Just wake up.
Mr. Peacebot is like, why even?
Yeah, let me introduce you to this nightmare blunt rotation of human beings right here. This is not AI generated. This was supposed to be
I like how she can't even do it properly.
some sort of an own on Ethan. This is the most pathetic lineup I've ever seen in my life, and on no planet
Okay, I mean, fucking agreed, but at the same time, what is this? More pictures? Oh, wow. They even had a photo shoot for all of this. Jesus. Is there more of this stuff? Yeah, probably not. Anyway. Oh, no, wait. Does he actually show, like... Oh, is there actually engagement with his points? Holy, that's a new one.
Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
grave.
Ethan talks about being aware of Hassan's 9/11 comments and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as...
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together,
Jokes.
because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right?
Yeah, again, this is a good point. I agree with that. Ethan Klein just did this all for money. He literally did not give a fuck about Hassan's political stances, takes, or anything until they got to, well, where we are with the places and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about. Tips, small hat. You know, all of that stuff. Only then he cared. Only then. Until that point, say 9/11 America 10 out of 10, that was fine with him because he doesn't give a shit. And well, the moment was no longer about America. He truly started to care. So again, Ethan Klein 100% understood that these are probably not jokes. Again, can't really be 100% defined on this, but I kind of want to believe that Ethan Klein is slightly smarter than a whipped dog at this point. So he, again, I don't believe. I literally do not believe that Ethan Klein did not understand or know about this or thought, oh, it's just jokes. Hassan's just constantly getting taken out of context every 2 days. Yeah, sure, buddy.
When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to Hassan a little bit more and found out what his international...
Again, Hassan is one of the most popular people on Twitch, Twitter, and the gaming space and political space in general, sadly. So again, not knowing these things is at some point you have come across them, right? That's just the normal thing. You have come across them. You at least know something. But Ethan doesn't care.
Politics
Well, didn't care until recent.
opinions are, but you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online.
Yeah, hopefully that didn't give you whiplash. That is one of the most insane things I have heard in a minute.
Wait, what? You think you think that's insane? You assume that Ethan Klein just ignored that because of profit and shit? Really?
Klein, in his description of Hassan Piker's 9/11 comments, was being extremely charitable, in my opinion, as labeling those comments as edgy jokes.
Yeah. That's nonsensically. If you want to call it charitable, then this is not charitable. This is nonsensically charitable, okay? This is so charitable it almost seems like a joke that's unbelievable.
But Idubbbz comes in and says, no, those are not edgy jokes, and you're bad for saying that. That was actually Hassan Piker being extremely passionate about the subject, and almost saying you need to respect his opinion.
No. He's not saying you should respect his opinion. He's saying Hassan meant it and everyone knows it. Okay, let me put this in context because this is now getting strange and murky. Okay? If you think that Hassan was serious about saying 9/11 and that it was wrong of him saying these things, then you are not extending charitability to Hassan. But if you want to say at the same time, but Ethan didn't know that these were in jokes, then you're not going 1-for-1 here. You are extending charitability to Ethan, while you are extending no charitability to Hassan, which is reasonable because everyone knows because the Hassan thing is bullshit. But Ethan's is also bullshit, I would say. You need to be equal with them in this situation. Hassan bad, Ethan bad. Hassan good, Ethan good. There is no one bad, one good. One good, one bad. That's not possible. Unless you live in Bizarro world.
This is insane. Again, in the year 2025, Idubbbz defending and really propping up someone saying America.
Oh, that's not defending him. Holy shit. Rev really doesn't understand what's going on. He's not defending him when he says that. He is not defending. Am I the only one who thinks he's not defending him? That that's a critique of Ethan, not defense of Hassan? Man, wild.
America deserves.
Yeah, you need to comment this timestamp and leave what you think. Is this a critique of Ethan or a defense of Hassan? Again, they can't both be at the same time. Because they need to be equal. So, what do you think? Jesus, wow.
9/11. Is this not the hardest fall off you have ever seen in your life? Oh, wait, it gets worse. So after an hour of lambasting this guy, completely betraying him, stabbing him in the back, allying with his most insane haters, Idubbbz tries.
I don't like this take, okay? It doesn't matter if I like or dislike Ethan, Hassan, or Ethan again. Shit, what is his name? Whatever. Yeah, Ethan Klein and the other Ethan. Yeah, they're both Ethan. Shit. Whatever. It doesn't matter if I like or dislike any of these people. A person can be wrong when I like them, and a person can be right when I dislike them. And if a person is right, but I dislike them, I'm not going to instantaneously be a retard about it and say, no, you're still actually somehow wrong. Even though what you're saying is right, you're wrong just because I don't like you. No, that's how you become a meat fucking popsicle.
Tries to do the classic bully mentality, where he says, wait a second, after beating you up for the last hour, I'm going to give you a pat on the back and said, you're actually kind of a good guy, sort of, kind of, but not really. He decides to
actually says that through the video multiple times, kind of.
line up, as he describes, the biggest haters that he included in this video to give their fair opinion of.
Oh, the end. Yeah. They just say a bunch of good stuff about Eden like it fucking matters. That was stupid. That part I don't. That part is not the better part of the ending of the video. Well, anyway, wow, this is getting real stupid. This is getting super. I regret actually watching this video. Anyway, that was an episode of this. So 10 out of 10. Bye.